Hey, good morning. How are you doing? It is a good morning out there. Of course, starting off with a little cloud cover, partly cloudy, but there's nothing unusual about that. We usually do. As we head through the day, lots of sunshine. You're gonna want to know where the sunscreen is, that's for sure, and sunglasses. Okay, here's one thing. It's gonna be hot. It's that time of the year. Average high is 97. Our high today is going to be 99, just a couple of degrees above normal. I think tomorrow about 99. As we head into the weekend and next week, high temperatures are going to be right at what you'd expect, 97. Heat index values very close to around 100 degrees. So not, if you're thinking, gosh, it sure is hot. Well, it's South Texas, and that's just the way it's supposed to be. So next several days, typical August weather. Next several days, strong ridge of high pressure, so no rainfall, but hold on. I think early next week, I think the ridge will weaken, and that will give a chance for some isolated showers, maybe even scattered, but I'm thinking more isolated at this point. Okay, 81 degrees is the current temperature. Record is 105. Been a while since we've hit a record, and we're not going to hit one today. It is going to be hot, though. Upper 90s for a high. If you've got anything planned this evening, temperatures will be in the 90s. We'll have mostly sunny skies as we head through the day today, and mostly clear skies out there this evening. All right, looking at the state map, it's about as plain as it can get. Looks very August-like. Not much happening around the state. There is a little ridge of high pressure at the surface in the Gulf of Mexico. There's a trough of low pressure in the lee side of the Rockies, but between the two, it's really not even going to make it that breezy. So those are really weak features. One thing you'll notice, though, there's a lot of shower activity in the Gulf of Mexico. Nothing tropical, that's for sure. All right, look at these temperatures out west. Let's see, back this up just a little bit. Yeah, out in Salt Lake City today, high 95. Denver, 97. That is really hot, right? If you're going to Denver, you want to cool off. But it's hot because the upper level high is just right overhead over them. The place to cool off is going to be the East Coast. That's where temperatures are in the 70s for highs around Boston, New York City, and also Washington State. So the Mountain West, really hot because of that ridge of high pressure, and it's dominating our weather as well. But like I said earlier, watch what happens by the time we get to Sunday. That ridge weakens, kind of backs off all the way to California, and then when we don't have a ridge of high pressure right overhead with that sinking air motion, then daytime heating is allowed to do its thing and pop up isolated showers. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen as we head into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe even into Thursday until that high kind of builds right back in. And so that's good news that we'll have that chance for some isolated showers at least for next week. All right, highs today in the upper 90s, around 99 degrees. Some locations may hit 100. I mean, for that matter, we may hit 100 as well. Okay, if you took all the days and put them all together next week, rain totals probably 1/10 to about 1/4 of an inch. But there will likely be some areas, especially to the south and east, that will pick up a little bit more rainfall, maybe 1/2 inch to about 1 inch of rain. Okay, let's switch gears real quick. Let's take a look out in the tropics. We got a 10%, 20% chance of something developing off the East Coast. If something develops there, it's not coming our way. There is Dexter there in the northern Atlantic. Is it okay if I call Dexter Poyne? Maybe not. Anyway, Dexter's there in the northern Atlantic, continuing to move off to the north and east, not affecting anybody. We've got an area of disturbed weather in the Atlantic that may develop, but it's going into the Atlantic. But I'm going to continue to watch the coast of Africa. Looks like that as we head towards the latter part of the month, that something may develop and move into the Caribbean or the Gulf. There's a chance. I mean, it's a long way out, but I'm going to keep my eyes on what's happening off the coast of Africa as we head through the rest of the month. Okay, before I keep going, I'm about to run out of time here, but let's see, Raul, for the summer has. You know what? You were right, Raul. We can be thankful, and it's that rain that we picked up in May and June. And even into the early part of July that has really made the difference on this summer. If we, like I said this before, if you pick up rain here in south central Texas in May, June, then it ends up being more like a Florida summer than a Phoenix summer. But if we don't get enough rain, then it's more almost like Phoenix, or the desert Southwest. I'd rather have it this way, that is for sure. Okay, aquifer 629.6. I kind of skimmed over the pollen count. Mold is moderate. I think it was 600 grains per cubic meter, something like that. Okay, here's your 14-day forecast. 99 for a high today, Friday 99, Saturday and Sunday 97. I've got your heat index values there, 102 Thursday, 102 Friday, 101 Saturday, 99 Sunday, around 100 next week. It's going to be hot next week, but in the afternoons, you'll see those clouds billowing with an isolated chance for a shower just about each and every day next week. And to be honest with you, because on doing this, I can pull the curtain back, I was kind of tempted to put in 10% all the way through Saturday, but I kind of left it at Thursday. So just kind of keep that in mind. I do have a 10% for the 19th with high temperatures still 97 to 98. And once we get past the 20th of August, this is just a little tidbit. I don't think I'm ready to say this on TV, but pay attention to the Caribbean and the Gulf. Could get a little active, but that's a long way out. And it's not a stretch to say as we head towards the latter part of August and September that it is going to get more active in the tropics. All right, thank you so much. Stay hydrated, have the sunscreen and sunglasses, and if you want more updates, make sure and go to KENS 5 Plus. Okay, thanks a bunch. Have a great day.